It's government assistance for the poorest of the poor, meant to be spent on basic necessities like food, clothing, and medication.
So why did the NBC2 investigators uncover transactions at liquor stores, strip clubs, and dog racing parks? It has taken us 6 months to go through millions of transactions.
And tonight, a lawmaker is taking action because of our findings. Here's NBC2 investigator Andy Pierrotti.
Well, Lindsay, Kelly, it took us months to wrangle years worth of transactions from Florida's Department of Children and Families. And after digging through it, we found once the money starts flowing, oversight ends.
46.
Before you play, you must pay.
Bingo over there.
And while Pat Chapman can afford to lose a little money,
We go home maybe $20.
the state's neediest families can't. But that didn't stop them from withdrawing thousands of public assistance dollars from ATM machines inside bingo parlors, bowling alleys, and liquor stores throughout Florida.
The biggest one in here is liquor.
Florida's Department of Children and Family Services oversees the program funded with federal tax dollars. It deposits money into EBT cards like this, and recipients use it just like debit cards. After reviewing more than 2 years' worth of transactions, we uncovered recipients withdrawing money from places like a dog track near Jacksonville, bars like the Lani Kai on Fort Myers Beach, strip clubs, including this one in Miami,
Foxy lady, oh my gosh.
and at bingo parlors. Total withdrawals, more than $190,000.
What do you think that they're doing when they're withdrawing EBT card money at a bingo parlor?
I can't determine that. Obviously, we are not, no ankle monitors on people who are using this. We're not taking surveys of how they use it.
DCS spokesperson Joe Follick argues just because money is withdrawn at ATMs and liquor stores and bingo parlors doesn't mean that's where recipients are using the dollars.
Okay, how many people go into a liquor store just to use an ATM card? I'm sorry.
It's not like they didn't have choices. We found 3,300 public assistance dollars withdrawn from this Miami liquor store when they could have walked just right next door and used one at that grocery store.
DCF has known about the potential for abuse for years, but has done nothing to stop it.
I don't think it's in anybody's best interest to have the state of Florida monitoring every single transaction. Nobody wants Big Brother in here.
Why not? It's still federal dollars.
I think we would have to do a cost analysis benefit on this.
Follick argues the amount is a fraction of the millions of dollars used appropriately and believes it would cost the state more money to monitor the questionable locations we found.
This is clearly an abuse of the intention of these dollars.
Something State Representative Scott Plinken disagrees with. He helped us fight DCF for the data, and based on what we found, now plans to ask the agency to find a way to stop withdrawals at the locations we discovered.
I think we're creating a moral hazard situation here in Florida if we just allow this to go on and just look the other way.
For now, the state is looking the other way, allowing tax dollars to potentially fund drinking habits and games of chance.
California recently passed a law blocking the type of transactions we uncovered, and Georgia is right on their heels. It's important to note that the questionable transactions we found amount to less than 1% of the millions of dollars that fund the program. For more details on what we found and where ATM withdrawals happen, check out our website, NBC-2.com.
Las Vegas, the Virgin Islands, and Hawaii, all vacation hotspots and also places the NBC2 investigators found public assistance dollars being withdrawn from ATMs.
The federal program is intended to help Florida's neediest families feed, clothe, and house themselves. But the NBC2 investigators found the money being withdrawn at liquor stores, strip clubs, and bingo halls, and from as far away as Alaska. Here's NBC2 investigator Andy Pierrotti.
From fun in the sun to the gambling capital of the world and the last frontier, an NBC2 investigation found millions of public assistance dollars withdrawn at those locations by Florida families.
It's horrible. It's sad.
Florida's Department of Children and Family Services oversees the program funded with federal tax dollars. It deposits money at the EBT cards used just like debit cards and is meant to help families get back on their feet. After combing over more than 2 years' worth of transactions, we uncovered Florida recipients withdrawing money from all 50 states, including Hawaii, the Virgin Islands, and Las Vegas. Total out-of-state transactions, more than $2.3 million.
It kind of makes me upset just to look at it.
John Nice wishes he could afford to visit those places, but he barely gets by with his public assistance.
Sort of focus on aberrations, things that are just not the majority of problems here, does not do benefit to the people who are honest, hardworking people who need this temporary help.
DCS spokesperson Joe Follick is adamant that the majority of the out-of-state money is spent by those visiting family or applying for jobs in other states.
But we found recipients likely enjoying themselves with your tax dollars after finding ATM withdrawals at liquor stores outside Hollywood, California, and also strip clubs and a sex museum in Las Vegas, Nevada. Right now, there are no safeguards to prevent this from happening.
I don't know if I'd call them safeguards. There are no rules in place prohibiting the use of ATM cards anywhere where an ATM card's accepted.
I've never been to Hawaii. My wife has told me she'd like to go.
Representative Scott Plinken plans to change that. He's asking the state to figure out a way to block those transactions at questionable locations we uncovered.
So why somebody would be going to Hawaii or Las Vegas using our assistance dollars there, I cannot think of a justification for that.
John can't either.
All the people around here that need help and don't get help, and then you look at this and you wonder, you know, what's going on.
Arguing more people in need could benefit if those potentially abusing the system are cut off.
There is an argument, too, that since these are federal dollars, people should be allowed to use them in any state. DCF tells us there would be a cost associated with blocking their transactions, and taxpayers would have to fund it. But they can't tell us how much that might be because they've never looked into it. Len?
Andy, what were the top states where you found people using these cards?
Well, the top state, of course, is Florida. 98% of their transactions were here. Rounding out the top 5, Alabama, Georgia, New York, Texas, and North Carolina. To prevent obvious abuse in or out of the state requires changing the law. Count on us to let you know what happens.
From bowling alleys to strip clubs in Miami, our NBC2 investigation uncovered Floridians on public assistance withdrawing taxpayer money from ATMs inside numerous locations in and out of state. And that led Tampa area State Senator Rhonda Storms to send this letter to a 12-member committee of U.S. senators and representatives charged with reducing the deficit. She directly identified our investigation, expressing concern with the federal assistance program, saying taxpayers should not fund the gratuitous waste of tax dollars for personal and pleasurable enjoyments. She suggested they reform the program, writing, "I support a change that would require all purchases made by public assistance recipients be in-state purchases."